Hello everyone, welcome to all. In our biology lecture, we are studying chapter number first, reproduction in lower and higher plants. In our previous lecture, we studied development of endosperm and their types. Now today, we study the next important point, that is development of embryo. Let's see development of embryo. The process of development of zygote into an embryo is called embryogenesis. That is the simple definition of development of embryo. In our previous lectures, we study double fertilization. In that, we study one haploid male gamete is fuses with egg cell and form diploid zygote. Such a diploid zygote formation, they develops into an embryo, and such a process is called embryogenesis. Embryo is developed at the micropylar end of embryo sac. We study the anatropous ovule structure. You can see the diagram. In that anatropous ovule structure, this is the embryo sac. This is the embryo sac. Such a embryo sac showing antipodal cells, secondary nucleus, and egg cell. This side is called as micropylar side or micropylar end. The egg cell, you can remember, the egg cell is always present micropylar end. So that egg cell, when after fertilization with male gamete, that convert into zygote, and such a zygote is then developed into embryo. So the embryo is developed at the micropylar end. Remember, embryo is developed at the micropylar end of embryo sac. The growth of embryo triggers only after certain amount of endosperm is formed. It is an important point. The growth of embryo triggers only after certain amount of endosperm is formed. That means first endosperm is formed, and after endosperm formation, the embryo, the growth of embryo triggers. That means the embryo formation process start. After fertilization, the embryonic development begins. Remember, after fertilization, the embryonic development begins. So this is about the some important points of embryo development. Now we study in detail the development of embryo in dicot. Development of embryo in dicots. The first stage of embryo development is after fertilization, when the zygote is formed at the micropylar end. That zygote undergoes transfer division, forming into two cell pro-embryo. You can see the diagram A to B. A is the zygote, and after transfer division, you can see the two cell structure is formed, that is the B diagram. Such a two celled structure is called as pro-embryo, that will form after transfer division in zygote. After forming pro-embryo, the next you can see the large cell towards the micropyle is called basal or suspensor initial cell. That is the larger cell which are present at the micropyle, and that larger cell we called as suspensor initial cell or basal initial cell. Then next, in that transfer division, the smaller cell towards the chaliza is called terminal or embryonal initial cell. See this is the terminal or embryonal initial cell. Now after this division, the large basal cell enlarges and undergoes transfer division to form a group of 6 to 10 cells called suspensor. suspensor. So in this, the larger basal cell that enlarge, their size increases, and in this cell you can see there is a group of 6 to 10 cells. There is a group of 6 to 10 cells. You can see here suspensor cells. There is a group of 6 to 10 cells. In between 6 to 10 cells, such a group is called as suspensor cells that will form in undergoing transfer division in basal cell. When the basal cell enlarges, that undergoes transfer division and form a group of 6 to 10 cells called as suspensor cell. Then you can see the first cell of the suspensor towards the micropylar end is called haustorium. Is called haustorium. That cell present towards the micropylar end, and that cell, that haustorium, is the first cell of suspensor towards the micropyle. So you can see here, this is the haustorium cell which is formed, that which is the first cell of suspensor towards the micropylar end, whereas the last cell of the suspensor towards the chalazi end is called as hypophysis. You can see here, this is the last cell we called as hypophysis. That latter develops into radicle. So hypophysis, the next stage is the development of radicle that will be developed from hypophysis. Now after this division, you can see the smaller terminal or apical cell undergoes one vertical division. The two cells formed from terminal cells divide by transverse division, thus forming 4 embryonic cell, which is that stage generally known as quadrant stage. See here, now we see the terminal cells. Now this is the terminal cell, this is the terminal cells, and this terminal cells undergoes vertical and transverse division. First division is vertical, then they follow transverse division. After completing these two division, you can see the 4 cell structure, that stage we called as quadrant stage. See here, this is the quadrant formed after vertical and transverse division, and this stage we called as quadrant stage. Then finally this 4 cell divides vertically, forming 8 cell pre-embryo, which is also called as octet stage. See here, this is the octet stage. It is formed after quadrant stage. It is the final stage that will form the vertical division in the quadrant stage, quadrant cells or 4 embryonic cells. 4 cells at the apex give rise to plumule, and another 4 give rise to hypocotyl except its tip. So that is the last stage. In that last stage, you can see the apical or the 4 apical cell give rise to plumule, and another 4 cell give rise to hypocotyl except its tip. You can see here radicle, plumule. You can see here, this is the plumule. Here also you can see. Then hypocotyl, that is another important, which is developed from the remaining 4 cells except the tip cells. Now during this development, Subsequently, the cell in the upper tier of octant, seed coat, and endosperm fruit wall scutellum divides in several planes so as to become heart shape, which then forms two lateral cotyledons and a terminal plumule. Further enlargement of hypocotyl and cotyledon result in a curvature of embryo and it appears horseshoe shape. So these are the developmental stages and that shows some characteristic shapes. For example, heart shape stage. In that stage you can see the embryo looks like heart. Then the next stage of further enlargement of hypocotyledon and cotyledon that results in the curvature of embryo and it looks like horseshoe shape. You can see here this is the horseshoe shape stage and this is the heart shape stage. Typical dicotyledonous embryo consists of an embryonic axis and two cotyledons. Here is the typical dicotyledonous embryo. In that you can see two cotyledons. In that you can see two cotyledons, 1 and 2. The portion of embryonic axis above the level of cotyledon is the epicotyl, which develops into plumule or stem tip, This is the portion of embryonic axis above the level of cotyledons that further develops into plumule, or we also called as stem tip. The cylindrical portion below the level of cotyledon, is hypo, which develops into radical. This is the hypocotyledon which develops into radical or root tip. Plumule develops into stem tip, plumule or stem tip that is developed from epicotyledon above the level of cotyledon is the epicotyl, which develops into plumule or stem tip, while the cylindrical portion below the level of cotyledon is hypocotyl, which develops into radical or root tip. The cylindrical portion below the level of cotyledon is called hypocotyledon. Okay. The root tip is often covered with root cap. See here the root cap, it's covered the root tip. Root cap cover the root tips. So that is the structure of dicotyledonous embryo. That is the final structure of dicotyledonous embryo. Now after studying the structure of dicotyledonous embryo, now we see a typical monocotyledonous embryo. A typical monocotyledonous embryo consists of one cotyledon. Remember, in dicot you can see two cotyledon, while in monocot you can see one cotyledon. The cotyledon is situated on one side, that is lateral embryonic axis, is called scutellum. See here, this is the scutellum which are present on one side of embryonic axis. Then next, the radical and root cap are situated at lower end of the embryonic axis is an undifferentiated sheath called as coleorhiza. See here, this is the coleorhiza, which are situated at the lower end of embryonic axis is an undifferentiated sheath. Then you can see the short apex and few lip primordia is enclosed in hollow foliar structure in epicotyl region called coleoptili. See here, this is the coleoptili which are enclosed in hollow foliar structure in epicotyl region. The portion of the embryonic axis above the level of attachment of scutellum is called epicotyl. So this is the typical monocotyledonous embryo. You can see the developmental stages of monocotyledonous embryo. For example, here we see the monocot embryo of grass A, B, C, D. This is the different stages of monocotyledonous embryo development, and H is the final stage of embryonic development in monocot. So remember this point. Most of the time question will be asked on the development of monocot or dicot embryo. You can prepare according to that. Most of the time objective question will be asked on this point. So in this today's lecture, we mainly focus on development of embryo in dicot. In your board exam, most of the time question was asked on this point. Explain the development of dicot embryo. This is the long answer question. So according to that, you can prepare your answer with net label diagram. Thank you.